Hello and welcome to my second video on the road to Venus Next. In this video series I want to talk about everything Venus Next related and give you all my tips and tricks so that you're well prepared for the upcoming launch of the expansion on Steam. Today I will give you my top 3 tips and tricks for Venus Next. Keep in mind that these are not super advanced and more designed for people that have never or just once or twice played with the expansion. But if you have other Venus Next related tips that I didn't cover in this video, please leave them in a comment. Let's get started. For my first tip, please keep in mind that when playing with regular rules, the Venus parameter does not have to get maxed out for the game to end. This has multiple implications. Maybe the most prominent is that when you're going for a long game with a card draw and a good economy, you can still increase Venus freely, and that way you have another way of scoring points. This can be really useful since increasing oxygen, temperature or the number of oceans is no option for you, as you don't want to help the rushing player to end the game. Another smaller implication is that in the last gen you can score points by using the Venus standard project, even when all other parameters are maxed out and you don't have any cards on hand anymore. Often when the game ends and you run out of point scoring cards, you spend your remaining MC on SP greeneries. But if you don't have any cities on Mars or you have less than 23 MC, then it's actually better to use the SP Venus. My second point is that you should be really careful when picking up the new cards in-game. Sure, we all want to try out the new content, but there are 2 reasons why you should really think twice about every card you want to pick up in the draft. Firstly, and this is related to the first tip in this video, the Venus parameter is not guaranteed to get maxed out. A card like Venusian Animals is insanely strong if you can get it down early, but you're actually not even guaranteed to be able to play it at all. This is in stark contrast to a comparable card like Fishes. When picking that one up, you know that you get at least one use out of it. So, to be able to play Venusian Animals in particular, you will probably need to put quite a bit of work into increasing the Venus parameter yourself. But this brings me to my next point. Some of the cards in the Venus Next expansion are pretty bad, and this is especially true for some of the cards that let you increase Venus. I especially think about Extractor Balloons or Forced Precipitation here. These let you increase Venus regularly, so you'd think they are perfect together with Venusian Animals or Stratospheric Birds, but they are just so inefficient and especially slow. Maybe you think I'll just combine Stratopolars with them, but that's the next absolute shitter of a card. Colonies introduced Titan as a colony tile and made it quite strong to make these floater cards better in particular. And for my last tip, be aggressive about funding Venuphile. Even if you have just 3 tags, if your opponent has 0, there's a high likelihood that he will not play any. A Venus tag rarely combos with other strategies, so if your opponent is already going for space, a ground game or a rush, then he's unlikely to go for Venus as well. And B, there are very few efficient late game scorers with a Venus tag, with Atalanta Planitia Lab, Venusian Animals and Maxwell Base probably being the only exceptions, so you can rest assured that you'll probably win that award. But these were my top 3 tips for Venus Next. What do you think about the expansion? Will you pick it up when it's released on Steam? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing to not miss any videos on the road to Venus Next. I'll see you in the next one.